Hey, what's up? It's Jim, and I just got back from the new film Ernest and Celestine. A bear and a mouse who become friends. It is based on the book series by illustrator Gabrielle Vincent, and in this world where bears live above and in kind of basically like humans, in a weird kind of very bizarre society where bears are basically the people and the mice live in subterranean cities where they send the little orphan mice like Celestine up to the surface to snag bear teeth, especially baby bear teeth, when they put them under their pillow to give to the tooth fairy, who's a tooth fairy mouse in the bear world. But these mice come and they steal the teeth and they bring them back because the reason mice have gone so far is because of their teeth and how they can eat through anything and create cities and do all these things because of their teeth. And it's very important. And so Celestine has to have 50 teeth or she will be in a lot of trouble. So she goes up and she makes friends with Ernest. And Ernest, who is very hungry, makes an agreement with her. As long as she gets him a lot of food, he will help her get tons and tons of teeth. And they help and rob a bear tooth store. And so she comes back with tons of teeth, but unfortunately he falls asleep in the Mouse City and they have to run away together. This film is a very sweet film. And I don't often say that about animation because usually I find it like kind of demeaning. But in this case, I do actually feel, I mean, not that the other animated films I saw weren't sweet, but this is a very sweet, nice, cute little movie for kids. But I think it has an interesting animation style because it looks like a children's picture book, and it actually works very well with that. I think it has a nice character design, and the whole design of the animation has an interesting flow about it. It seems to be able to capture kind of more silent comedy, especially I know this is going to be dubbed in various different languages all over the world, and in English for American audiences and other English-speaking countries, I presume. I saw this film in French. I kind of really like the French actors quite a bit, and I kind of prefer people see it that way, but there's a lot of kind of silent film gags that work really well. Very broad humor, but not in the terrible way that most of us know it. When you say that, I think there's an indication that that's very bad and awful. And in this case, I don't think that's true. It's broad in the sense that like everyone, your grandma and the little kids in the audience will all get it. It is still very cartoony. There's a part where they need to cover up a van, so they paint it green, it just hides into the background. And they have a few bits like that, but it tries to stay in the semi-reality of this fantasy world where bears and mice can't be friends. Although I don't remember of a time where they were before, but in this where bears are the prominent species in this bear world. I do really like the French actors, Lambert Wilson, who plays Ernest, and Pauline Brunner, who plays Celestine. Ernest has kind of a big boisterous voice to him, and he definitely feels like a bear. Very much a comedic performance, but a really kind of like a John Goodman-y kind of character. Someone who, you know, he's like big and menacing, but he's also got, you know, a nice heart to him. Then Pauline Brunner as Celestine gives her kind of this cute little innocence and almost kind of reminds me of Madeline in a little bit of a way. I like this movie. I think in the end of it kind of tries to make statements about culture that I don't think works as well. I think this film works best when it's about their friendship. Although I like the parts before their friendship, but as soon as they went back, I found those parts a lot weaker. But when it just focuses on their friendship and they're just hanging out, I felt the film really came alive, and that was really the part I'm going to remember about Ernest and Celestine is just Ernest and Celestine. There's a reason this film is called that, because their relationship and their charisma together works really well. And it's kind of, they're very much opposites. You know, you have very different voices and very different statures, and hey, they're a bear and a mouse. So they make a good duo together. And part of me kind of wishes they could just be friends and this could be less of a structured film. I guess my reservations about the third act are a little silly, but I just wasn't as into that. It's a nice kids movie. You don't need pop culture jokes or fart jokes or anything like that, but it doesn't kind of lose its edge or its heart or its artistry in any of that. It has a good heart on its sleeve, but it also knows how to make you laugh in both a cartoony way and in just like kind of the best sense of broad comedy, and in the way that that really works. It does have a very joyous, infectious spirit to it. And I like different animation styles, and I think especially now where everything in America looks, CG the same, unfortunately. This film almost feels a lot older than it is because of that, but I think that gives it a nice charm. It does feel like, almost because it's hand-drawn, because it's not CG, it feels like opening up a book. But this film wears it well enough that you're not even really thinking, like the best of animation is you're not thinking about what year it's from, you're just thinking about how you're having a good time. And I think that's definitely part of Ernest and Celestine. It's just an infectious, joyous little gem of a movie that's very sweet and cute. And as much as it pains me to say that about like an animated film, I think that's really true with this film. So if you have seen Ernest and Celestine and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments and subscribe if you would like to.